Hi, everybody. This is Matt Young, principal at People's Academy Middle Level, and it is October 2nd, 2020. This is our weekly family communication for this week. I wanted to start out with my favorite part of our current situation, which is getting to meet everybody's dogs during screening in the morning. We have some really adorable dogs in the PA and PAML community. I just thought I'd share them here. They're super cute, and it's super hard for me to not pet them, which I know I'm not allowed to do. Just want to remind everybody on the slideshow here is the screening survey link. Please, it helps us out so much to have that started on your way up the hill. So all we have to do is take a scan of the temperature, and the student is on their way. My objectives here today is just to continue to communicate our care and our focus on safety, even as we are talking about some changes going forward. Definitely want to continue to help everybody use Schoology in the best way we can, and answer your questions to make you feel better about sending your kids here to school. Our community commitment is as strong as ever. It is not just about what we do here in the building that's going to make a difference in virus transmission, but what we all do all over the Morristown and greater northern central Vermont community that we live in. These 5 things that I say over and over again, I'll say them once again. Make sure you wear a mask when you're around other people. Wash your hands often. Practice social distancing. Stay home when you're sick, and travel only when you absolutely have to. Here are those reminders from last week about if a member of your household is sick. Best thing to do, like I always say, is consult your primary care physician and take direction from them. If we do get an alternative diagnosis and the student is symptom-free for 72 hours, they can return. Or if we don't get an alternative diagnosis, a negative COVID test and symptom-free, and then if nothing happens, no test, no physician contact, we do need to be involved in a 14-day quarantine and symptom-free for 72 hours before we can return. On Friday, October 16th, we're going to have our fall student-led conferences. We're going to schedule these to take place virtually using Google Meet. Just give the office a call. Let us know a time on Friday the 16th that works for you. We'll do the best we can to schedule you and your TA teacher for a time that's mutually agreeable. Give us a call, send us an email. And the purpose of these conferences is much more to help our families gain a picture of what learning is like here at PAML, as opposed to how is our student doing. So the real priority is just to give everybody an understanding of the model we're shooting for, and how to know more about your students' learning if that's what you need. Picture day is next week, Thursday and Friday. We're going to try really hard to structure pictures in a way where students can have their mask off for their photo. We've got a couple of options we're working through right now, and we ought to be able to pull it off safely and get those photos that really are an important historical record for all of us. So we are going forward with a few adjustments to our operations starting on Monday. These are pretty simple ones, like being able to mix cohorts for recess and use some outdoor equipment and share some equipment between students. We are going to be hyper vigilant about washing hands upon re-entering the building after recess, and we're really confident we can do that safely. Also on October 5th, teachers of PE, wellness, art, design, technology, Spanish may transition with students to their respective classroom. It's not going to happen in all cases. It's not going to happen in all grades. But teachers do have the opportunity to do that as they see fit. And then also beginning October 5th, we're going to allow for students to work in mixed cohort groups for the purpose of academic intervention or enrichment. Again, it's not going to happen in all cases for all students, but we are giving ourselves that opportunity to take advantage of when it makes the most sense. So starting on October 13th, and we're going to take all of next week to figure this out, we do need to make some changes in the way we've grouped our 8th graders. We put them in these really unbalanced groups in order to preserve the Spanish 1 opportunity for them when we weren't able to mix cohorts. Now that we do have the opportunity to mix cohorts, we're going to return to sort of the model that we usually have. We're going to get student input on what groups they might want to be in, who they might want to be with in their group. And we're going to do the best we can to make a group that everybody feels comfortable with, both academically and socially. And I have no doubt that we'll do a great job with it. And this would also be a great time for any student that's kind of on the fence for Spanish 1. Now would be a really good time to identify yourself as wanting to transition out of there. The big adjustments that were literally announced to the public minutes ago that are going to be effective on the 19th is that we are going to welcome all students back into the building on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday for in-person instruction on the 19th. And we're going to take the next 2 weeks to figure out, what we need to do to make that as safe as possible. And that move is contingent upon just things staying where they are in terms of the virus. Like I said, we're already in the process of getting ready for that shift and making sure it's as safe as possible. And we have plenty of time between now and the 19th to let everybody know how we're going to do it. The athletics, I had the great fortune of visiting the girls' soccer games yesterday, Thursday, down in Stowe. It was great. Everybody was super happy. Mr. Bernier, I think, might have been the happiest person out there. He was so excited to be out there on the field coaching. This is the same set of rules for attending athletic events that I put up last week, with the addition here of this link to our new site. I would check it out for lots of new information. Our athletic director, Matt Enrich, or co-curricular activities director, Matt Enrich, is doing a great job with that. Some Schoology tips this week. How is my student doing? That's a question that we get sometimes. How do I know? What do I look for? There's 2 ways to see how your student's doing. I'll show you them right here. Easiest way is to click on this grades tab, or I shouldn't say the easiest way. One of the easy ways is to look on this grades tab. The grades tab organizes things by course and tasks. So you can just see the task that was assigned, see how the student did on it. This particular student has a missing assignment. That's really what we want to look out for. We want to make sure we complete those. Pretty straightforward here. We do a great job here at PAML of making sure our students know the learning targets and know the standards that they're trying to gain proficiency in. And this view, the mastery view, which if I look back here, right there's the mastery view, organizes the scores and grades and tasks in by standard. Which can be helpful if a student is working on a particular standard, like like a literacy standard, and you want to see all the assignments associated with that. It could be a handy view. It also helps you think about learning how we do, which is not organized by course, but organized by standard. So that's mastery view. So those are the 2 ways that you can see how your student's doing. I got 2 new questions this week. One of them is sort of a repeat from the summer, but I'm happy to talk about it again. The electrostatic misting. And there's a lot of confusion around electrostatic misting. Some people call it fogging, but it's really the device is designed to emit disinfectant that then sticks to surfaces. It's not designed to be airborne for a long period of time, and I think that's an important distinction to make. So the disinfectant gets sprayed, and there's some way that it gets an electronic charge that makes it stick to surfaces. So it gets sprayed, sticks to surfaces really quickly. We only do electrostatic spraying overnight, so it has plenty of time to settle and dry, and that's what makes it the most safe for students. We are not spraying it and then having students enter the room. It gets sprayed, sticks to the surfaces, dries, and that's what makes it safe. This is a question about transporting students to and from sporting events. And that is, yes, that is definitely okay. I think there's lots of little details that we could talk about forever in terms of transporting students. But the thing that I think we most want people to know is, yes, it's possible. And yes, please communicate your transportation plans with coaches in advance. We just don't want to create mass confusion for coaches. And another way we're going to make this process simple for coaches is by transporting your own children with adult guardians. So please, let's just make it as simple as possible for everybody and stick to those rules. Obviously, extenuating circumstances exist. Please, I would encourage you to just be in touch with your child's coach and make a plan. I wanted to just share some photos about what was going on around school. Couple of really neat things we're seeing here. In this picture in the top left, this is a student. The student is participating in a presentation by other students. Some of the students are home. Some of the students are in the same room where this picture was taken, and some of the students are in another room. I think this is just an example of how much we've learned about technology and how to use technology over the last 6, 7, 8 months. We would have never done this pre-COVID. So it's just really exciting. The picture on the bottom here is another example of a classroom that is integrating the remote and in-person experience. What's on the board here is a discussion board function in Schoology, and students that are in person and also remote are participating in that discussion using that board. Super cool. These 4 pictures in this corner all have to do with the monarch butterfly project that's going on in our lower house. It's so cool to see how these caterpillars progress into being butterflies. I mean, we all know that butterflies do that, but to see it happen and see it happen in so many different different ways is pretty cool. Miss Bonnie over here, one of our paraeducators, is really excited about this tiny little caterpillar that turned into a tiny little butterfly in that jar. And it's just really fun to watch. Our 7th grade Team Nova, they created a video for their weekly PAC meeting, which is where they celebrate students and just recognize some real positive stuff going on their team. I think this is just an example. I hope you'll watch it and just notice the joy that is being shared with our students and the joy that's being shared between our teachers. And I think despite, I don't even want to say despite, I think, it's definitely a challenging time, but there's also lots of joy going on in our building. That was a long one, sorry. Lot to share this week, but please use this link right here for more questions, and I will answer them in future recordings. If I get a lot of questions early next week, I'll probably do a midstream sharing of those, because I'm sure given the changes, there will likely be a few. So thanks a lot. Thanks for your continued support, and have a great weekend.